In a subsequent video, we talked about meltdowns. But what else goes with meltdowns is behavior. Also, how you feed your child is going to affect their behavior. But today, what I'd really like to reach out to parents and talk to you about is behavior. You know, one of the things that I've noticed over the years of doing this, and I've been involved in working with children with developmental delay for nearly 20 years. Children have some behavior that is just not being stopped, and some parents are afraid to parent. So we've got to take a step back and we've got to look at a few things and see if we can get ourselves back on the right track. Children absolutely need their parents to bring those boundaries into perspective. Your little toddler, their brain waves are so different than your brain waves. And this isn't to sound disrespectful to the child, but honestly, they don't have the capability yet to go into a reasoning mode with them to get them to do what they should be doing. In fact, their brain waves are so different than ours that they really need the structure while they're going through development in order to make sure that they develop exactly the way that we expect them to. Joyful, happy, full of love, able to learn, be a contributing part to our society. So when we look at a little toddler, they actually can learn a new behavior within a 1 to 2 structure point from you. So if you saw your little toddler going to put their finger into an electrical socket, you could actually say, no, mean it, pull their hand away and say no, and then redirect them. You may have to do it one more time. But if your child's development is going in the right direction, that's really all it should take. It should be very short answers. It should always be in a loving manner, but it does need to be firm. Otherwise, they cannot distinguish what you really want them to do. Now, lots of times what I've actually experienced is that many people have been dealing with all kinds of behavior with their children before they actually come and see me. So by the time they come and see me and that child's 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, now the child coming up from that toddler time, if that boundary and structure and filter haven't been taught along the way, now what's happened is they don't know what to do with their child. Both sides, mom, dad, and child, are both at each other's throat, having meltdowns, and we're not moving in a positive direction. Oftentimes, parents really do feel sorry for their child, and that's not a negative. I've certainly felt that way. But what we have to do is we have to take a step back and say, is this really serving my child? Is this really helping my child learn how to be in this world? And if we come at everything from an emotional process, then all we're doing is we're training our children to have that same kind of response, emotional about everything. And lots of things that you and I have had to go through in life, you just can't put the emotional component in there because you have to move forward. Being able to go from one grade to the next, to be able to dynamically learn how to be with different peers, learn how to accept a different teacher's style. We can't change the environment for our children every single time there is a problem. And the demands that are being placed on our children academically today are just great. They're horrendous. And many children, even as early as 3rd grade, are finding it very difficult to cope. So parents, the demand on us is even greater to be able to put our best foot forward, teach our children how to take a deep breath. Let's look at this situation and learn how to plan our responses. This takes the lifetime of a child, and it starts with those first years giving very short answers, very direct commands to our children so that later on, when other authority figures come into their lives, they're not shattered by it. You know, being a parent is not the easiest job. And if you ever want to sit down and discuss what may be going on with your child to see if it is a potential problem, please pick up the phone and give me a call, and I'll be happy to hear what's going on.